put like their screen on real quick so I can show my audience if it's not already. It's okay if Susan can't. All right. Do you ever become so overwhelmed that you can't focus? Maybe there's a loud noise that is causing you to become distracted, or possibly there's an overpowering smell that is making it hard for you to concentrate. So what do? Maybe you move away from the noise or put headphones in. Maybe you remove the source of the smell or just deal with it. Many people would just do one of these simple solutions and go about their day. But for people that have been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, or commonly known as autism, it's not so easy, and especially for children. In an article published by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention on September 25th, 2020, they state that about 1 in 54 children have been identified with autism spectrum disorder. What autism is a complex developmental condition that with persistent challenges in social interactions, speech and nonverbal communication, and restricted or repetitive behaviors. The effects of ASD and the severity of symptoms are different in each person, according to the American Psychiatric Association. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about some characteristics of children with autism to better inform you of some possible solutions when a child is encountering a trigger. I will be discussing special interests, social encounters, emotional challenges, and sensory issues. Everyone has special interests in life, whether if it's a special activity that you like or a particular item that you're very fond of. Typically, children with ASD have special interests as well, but the difference is children with autism have a difficult time moving past their special interests to be on task. For example, I work in an elementary school in a classroom that specializes with autism, and one of my students loves trains. He loves playing with trains, talking about trains, watching trains, pretty much anything to do with trains, he really enjoys. But some issues that we run into is he's so interested in trains, he has a difficult time getting his mind and body to focus on the task at hand. Just the other day, he found an eraser that was sitting on my desk, and he grabbed it and proceeded to drive it around or move it on my desk like it was a train. No big deal, right? Well, during that time, we were trying to finish the math lesson. On a good day, a math lesson takes us about 10 minutes, give or take. That day, it took us 25, due to the fact that he had to tell me a bunch of really cool facts about trains that he knows. So instead of just taking the eraser away, which could have triggered him, I attempted to make trains relevant to our work. That way he could still be able to be on task doing his math lesson. Next, I will be discussing social encounters for children with autism and why they can be challenging at times. One reason is that children with autism, like many other children, can become overwhelmed easily. Their bodies and minds already tend to be feeling out of control, so adding in another new thing or person can be a lot for them to process and to handle. Also, people with autism have a difficult time catching on to sarcasm and understanding it. So if a person is being sarcastic, they tend to take it literally. Many times this can make it challenging for children with autism to make new friends because they have a hard time expressing or verbalizing what they are feeling or thinking. This leads me to my next point, which is emotional challenges that children with autism face. A lot of the time, children with ASD have a tough time identifying how they are feeling. This may be for a few reasons. One may be that they may not know the emotion that they are feeling, or two, they may not know how to describe it. One of the main things we work on with my students is to help them understand what emotion they are feeling and to identify it. When we are able to identify what feeling, we can then come up with a plan to help them cope. A way we do this is by providing the students with break charts. And what a break chart is they get to pick what emotion that they're feeling. So it could be happy, sad, mad, tired, and then they would pick one and move it over. So it says, I feel mad. And then they pick which break they would like. So they could have a hug, a walk, take deep breaths, relax, and then they move it over. And they give this to the teacher, so it says, I feel mad, I need a walk, and this allows them to ask for a break in an appropriate way. The last characteristic I'm going to be discussing is sensory issues. A common sensory issue that children with ASD have is sensitivity to noise. The reasoning for this is because noise can be more amplified for them, and this can cause them to feel out of control because they are being overstimulated. A way we can try and help my students with this is by providing them with noise-canceling headphones. A lot of the time, children with ASD have issues with body control. You may see children with autism moving their hands fastly or flapping, or spinning in circles, or just doing strange body movements. This is because they are trying their best to calm their bodies down in the way that they know how. We try to provide our students with resources to help accommodate them and to help get their bodies to calm down and be centered. Some items that we provide my students with to help them with body control are weighted blankets, the trampoline, or fidgets. I have a few fidgets here, and what a fidget is just something that the kids can hold in their hands to keep their hands moving, but this allows their mind to be on task with what is going on around them. Some children that have been identified with autism may have sensitivity to some smells and textures. This can be overwhelming for them, so we try our best to avoid them if possible, but that can be hard sometimes, especially if it's broccoli day in the lunchroom. So as you just learned, there are many characteristics of children with autism spectrum disorder, such as special interests, social encounters, emotional challenges, and sensory issues. If we can just remember some of these solutions and characteristics of children that have autism, we could possibly help a child that is on the spectrum. Thank you.